Hey, I'm Rob from JestaThaRogue.com doing a nice, easy, relaxing, unscripted video for my games I'm looking forward to the most in 2024. And I'm recording this around mid-November. You can see I am 32 subscribers short of 2,000. It'd be great to get to 2,000 before the new year, so please do subscribe if you're not already. And I'm not going to spend too long on each entry. I'm just going to tell you what the game's about and why I'm excited for it, especially this first one, so let's get going.
Number 10.
So the first one is Marvel United Multiverse, which I backed on Kickstarter. And I'm looking forward to it, not just because there's a big Galactus and there's loads of more characters and stuff I can play with, and it's already one of my favourite games, but it's because of this. It's the campaign decks, and I am so gutted they have made these Kickstarter exclusive. It's a really stupid idea in my opinion. These are going to allow you to play a campaign over several games, and depending on what you achieve during a different scenario and what, you know, how the game goes depends how the story unfolds and how your roster of available heroes will work. And it's such a good idea. I can't believe they made it Kickstarter exclusive, but that's what they've chosen to do. But I cannot wait to play these campaign decks.
Number 9.
This is Cyber Pet Quest, and check out that box. That has me written all over it. It says it's a game for 1 to 4 players, and each session of the game consists of playing through a chapter and achieving the objectives for the chapter. Players control the pets to interact with the environment, progress through the locations, and outsmart the enemies who are trying to stop them. It also says there are 12 chapters in total, and they're going to branch out, which means you can play through it and sort of have different storylines if you play through the game multiple times. Looks like it's got nice, cute little animal meeples, which are cool. And I'm hoping this is an early prototype, but it does show you what the game is going to consist of, and well, you can't really take much of it from that, but I am looking forward to this theme and the story.
Number 8.
Next is the Horror Game Show. And it says, in the Horror Game Show, the player puts on the role of a producer on a new reality TV show. They have their own team of competitors who they train, equip, advertise, and so on. But they also have somebody else up their sleeve, the Hunters, psychopathic murderers, empty of any feeling or emotion, human monsters. But they are monsters who are bigger stars than any celebrity. And for anyone who's seen or read The Running Man, it's got that kind of feel to it. And this is an early look at the game. The board does look quite busy with all the different spaces and tokens and standees and stuff, but I really like the idea of this theme, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go.
Number 7.
Next up is Philharmonix. It says, step into the role of a space orchestra manager with Philharmonix, the worker placement game that combines music and sci-fi in and out of this world experience. I emphasise the wrong word. And I do like games where you can have this sort of Euro game with a bit more of a fun theme. That always appeals to me. And as you can see from the board, it is very colourful with a lot going on. But what I like most about this is this. I believe this is a player board, and your orchestra is sort of propped up, tokens propped up in those little holes. So they're all sat around you like you're the conductor and the orchestra's looking at you, and I really, really like that.
Number 6.
Next up is Four Horsemen. And this says, Four Horsemen is an epic cooperative resource management and deck building game where players take up the mantle of legendary heroes to prevent the end of the world. You can see from this what looks like a prototype that the board looks quite nice with the 6 continents in those little circles. There is a lot going on what looks like the player board with lots of different symbols, as well as the cards as well. They all have lots of symbology. Hopefully that all makes sense when you're playing the game. But the Horsemen themselves look really nice, and yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this one a go as well. Although for Four Horsemen, unlike the others on this list, it is one that I want to know how the game plays before I decide whether I want to play it or not, because it could either be something I'm really into or really not. But for the purposes of this list, I'm really into it.
Number 5.
This is the second of the games on this list that I've backed on Kickstarter, due to be delivered next year. It's Terminus, a grown-up game. I say grown-up game because it's an actual board game. Most of the stuff I back on Kickstarter is like Marvel United, just miniatures heavy and silly. It says Terminus is a subway planning, developing and construction game for 2 to 5 players aged 14 plus, taking 30 to 40 minutes per player. And people have been playing this one on Tabletop Simulator and at conventions, and it's getting quite mixed reviews. But as you can see, it looks bright and colourful, and it looks really nice on the table. And you can see from the latest update, not only are all the boards dual layered, which is always a good thing, but the tracks are these sunken things and the trains can fit on them, which looks really, really cool. So even though it's getting mixed reviews, and it has that thing where you're trying to achieve a goal and the goals are on cards, and if you're trying to work towards that goal, somebody can steal it away from you, which is something I don't like. I don't like having to prepare to get a card and then not get it. That's just something I don't like. I'm still looking forward to receiving it, unboxing it, playing it, and probably doing a how to play video for it.
Number 4.
Weirwood Manor. It says Weirwood Manor is a cooperative board game that marries great adventure gameplay and some Euro-inspired underpinnings, as you and your group of valiant companions battle to protect Weirwood Manor and its enigmatic ruler, Lady Weirwood. That's a lot of W's, it's hard for me. From an invading Fey monster and his clockwork scarab minions. Again, it's Euro-inspired mechanisms with a nice childish theme. And this is the game. Again, it looks bright and colourful, and I do believe this wheel here, where the rooms are, these can all be moved around, because I did see some cards as I was flicking around all the images, lets you switch some of these rooms around, so I think these might be tiles that you can move, but I'm not really sure, but it looks nice. It says it's a Euro mechanics, so I look forward to giving this one a go. Oh yeah, here we go. Look, you can see all the cards here. Well, some of the cards here, and the artwork looks really nice and they're really bright and colourful. And this one says, shifting manner, shift the position of any 2 rooms in the same ring. So it looks like you can move those things around. It also looks like there's quite a few bit of symbology, but it looks like there's not too much of it. It seems to be the same one. This must be move. I'm guessing this one's attack or something. So there seems to be the same symbology around the card, which is good. You don't want too much.
Number 3.
Civolution from Stefan Feld. It says Civolution is a medium heavy to heavy Euro style game that utilises a dice selection mechanism to trigger actions on a tech tree like structure. As you figure out how best to use your dice and put your unique cards in play, tons of strategies and paths to victories emerge. Though each time you play, you will only explore a fraction of the possibilities that the game system and many cards provide. And I'm interested in this because I do play Stefan Feld's games, I do try and play all of them, and the ones I like most are the ones with dice games, and I also like Civilization games, so it's all coming together nicely. There is the board, everything looks very nice, and it's all dual layered again, perfect. And when you zoom in, you can see the boards have these symbols on, and there's things covering them. I don't know if you get that when you cover them, or whether you're trying to uncover them and you gain what's underneath, like Terra Mystica. And also the board looks really, really nice. Everything looks very clear. Don't know what anything does, obviously, but it looks very clear. And these boat things look really, really cool. I do like the look of them. But yeah, this game's shaping up to be one. I mean, obviously I'm really looking forward to playing it, but it looks like it's going to be one that's probably going to go on the shelf and stay there.
Number 2.
The third of the Kickstarters that I've backed that's coming out next year, this is Into the Godsgrave. As you travel across the world, you will discover and scout unknown lands. Only the companion app knows what lies ahead and what kind of challenges your journey will bring. And the reason I backed this is because it's along that same vein of Destinies. It's from Lucky Duck Games. Destinies, if you watch my top 50 games of all time, was number 2. I really enjoy that game. I love having the companion app kind of develop the story depending on what you do. That's really cool. It's one of my favourite things in board gaming ever. I know you're not supposed to like apps in your board games, but I love apps in my board games. And this is just another one of those games with a different theme. And there's not really much to show at the moment, but you can see there you've got the minis on the board. The board uses these big hex tiles that you build a map out, and you have the app controlling stuff. I'm so looking forward to playing this. I'm looking forward to playing the rest of my Destinies content as well, because that should have arrived by the time this video comes out. So it's all looking good. I love companion app games.
And now, number 1.
And finally, the fourth of the game I've backed on Kickstarter. It's another grown-up game. It's called Let's Go to Japan. And one of the reasons I'm excited about this is because this Kickstarter campaign was running alongside me planning my own trip to Japan this year, so it just came out perfectly. I am going to be so obnoxious playing this game. How many times I'm going to say, yeah, I've done that, or I've been there. So it says in Let's Go to Japan, you are a traveller planning then experience your own dream vacation to Japan. And that's what you're going to be doing, using these cards for all the different things you can do and see and visit in Japan. You're also going to get bonuses for using the train or not using the train and do things cheaply and travelling around and stuff. And to be honest, I don't really know much about how the mechanics and how the gameplay works. I just backed it because it looked good, and it was a game about planning a trip to Japan while I was planning my trip to Japan. I mean, obviously I did look at the gameplay at the time when the project was live, and it did look good. So it is a game I'm very much looking forward to playing. And if you back the deluxe edition, which was a very nice $69, you get these nice 4 ceramic bowls to put your bits in, so that's pretty cool. So that's my list. They're the 10 games I'm looking forward to the most next year. Let me know what you're looking forward to that's coming out next year so I can look them up and find out for myself. So be sure to subscribe to my TikTok page, which is @JestaThaRogue. Also Threads, which again is @JestaThaRogue. And my Insta, which is @JestaThaRogue. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already. We can get to 2,000 before 2024. That's it. Thank you everyone for a great year. I've had more subscribers this year than any other year before, so it's been phenomenal. You've all been great. Thank you very much. I've been Rob, aka JestaThaRogue, and I'll see you soon.